now you know. Now you know. Every time we have a male guest, what do? It's my job. It's to make the brothers feel what? Welcome. And I sometimes flirt.
Yeah. There's levels to everything. You can make somebody feel welcome, and you can go where y'all went.
Where did we go?
That was a lot of love being spoken. Maybe you need to go back. Did you go back and listen to Friday's show? No.
Telly, I was here.
Normally you do, but you did this time. So maybe you need to go back and listen to
here's the thing.
How much love was given.
All right, Truth Nation. You can, first of all, you can stream and watch Telly and I live right now on YouTube. Just go to the YouTube channel or go to YouTube and type in 101.7 FM space the truth. And you can watch Telly and I live right now. He over here with his lips poking out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can also, anytime you miss a show, and so if y'all watch the show, all right, let's just put it out there. Truth Nation. Number one, first of all, I hope y'all had, look at Chauncey on the Truth Talking text line, Telly. Look at Chauncey, what he said.
Let me see.
Chauncey, ain't nobody ask you. Ain't nobody come to see you on this.
I can't wait to get to it. He must have backed me up.
Okay.
That's right, Telly. Get on that. They ain't give you enough love.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I didn't get a.
So,
look,
anywho, if you happen to have listened to the broadcast of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on Friday, do you think Dame and I weren't showing Telly love and it was just all about what are you saying, Telly? It was just all about me and him?
Yeah.
You ought to see your face.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Okay, 833-212-1017. Let us know. Okay, let's just get right into it because we have a lot to talk about today, Telly. So I'm going to go ahead and just start. I'm glad that we have you as a co-host because although this is not a sports talk radio show, we got to talk about what in the BB King is going on with the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, I was on the flight yesterday coming back to Milwaukee. That's how committed I am to y'all, Truth Nation, how much I love y'all. I appreciate y'all loving me back. Shout out to Tracy. I think she's tuned in from American Airlines. Because, Telly, I'm going to keep it real. I've learned now that in order for you to really get customer service that you need, especially when it comes to flights, you got to get relatable. You got to get down to, look, I was like, look, I fly between Dallas and Milwaukee. I have a talk radio show. I've got to be in the studio. Please because it was tornadoes and everything, as you know, in Oklahoma and in Texas. I was like, please get me to Milwaukee. So, Tracy, if you're listening, and she said she would tune in from American Airlines, shout out to you. I got to Milwaukee safe. Thank you. Now, on the flight, Telly, you can watch live entertainment. So, of course, I'm watching the Bucks game. I've never seen Bobby Portis get emotional like that, number one. I haven't.
Really?
In terms of him getting ejected, I haven't. Again, I'm just bringing up, I'm going to start with my observations and you help me out, okay?
Okay.
Secondly, all these injured players, these star players that are injured, help me understand the second point. Do you remember that famous, or I shouldn't say famous, but you remember that popular game? And I can't remember if it was the playoffs, but it was a Green Bay Packers. It was a very important, I want to say it might have been against the Bears, but anywho, Aaron Rodgers in the first quarter, it was like the first 20 minutes of the game, he gets tackled like no other and literally had to be, carted off the field. All the commentators were like, oh my gosh, this doesn't look good. This is a pretty serious injury. And within 20 minutes, here come Aaron Rodgers back. I bring that up because I'm like, who is in charge of the medical attention for these players? Because I'm like, with it being 2024 and with football being a much more intensive contact sport, and these football players will leave the field after being tackled by a 400-pound linebacker and come right back. Why we got all these injuries for our star players? So, again, I just wanted to bring up that I'm very, very disappointed in the Bucks organization as a whole. I'm talking about the and when I say disappointed, I don't mean to judge as if, because the Lord knows I'm not a football or a basketball player. I'm just trying to understand what's going on. Just help me in Truth Nation understand, Telly, what is going on with our Milwaukee Bucks?
Off, the first part of it, Bug-Eyed Bobby has been an emotional player. That was his reputation before he got to the Bucks.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, he actually punched somebody in practice, a teammate, and broke his jaw. Pretty much ended his career when he was with the Bulls. But look, we don't like to bring up the past when it's the bad stuff. But Bobby needs to understand that, you are down your 2-star players, and you're going to need to step up. The last thing you need to do is get emotional and throw a punch at a dude that is 6 feet tall, and you're 6'10". Like, what do you think is going to happen?
I'm going to be an only child.
It's hockey.
He pushed him first. The Pacers player pushed him first.
but look what happened.
He pushed me first,
what happened?
Mom. He started it.
I'm sure that's what Bobby said when the ref told him to leave. Like, well, he started it. But you got to know how to control your emotions in that situation. But secondly, in terms of the injuries, it's just never a good time for an injury to happen. And the injuries that Dame and Giannis are experiencing, they are really tough injuries for basketball players when you're running and jumping and you're constantly using your legs. And I think the fear of Giannis returning would be what happened to Kevin Durant when he returned and then ended up
made it worse
because it started off as a calf strain and then he tore his Achilles. And so you don't want that to happen. But it's just unfortunate. I don't know if it has anything to do with the medical staff. I just think it has everything to do with unfortunate timing.
See, that's the thing. That's why I want to talk about the elephants in the room, because I do think it has to do with the medical staff. Because I'm like, first of all, how did it get to this point? So Giannis, he hasn't played since he strained his left calf back in early April. Dame, his Achilles, I guess Friday night. I've heard that it isn't or it is an Achilles injury, but bottom line is
it's Achilles.
Because for me, Telly, and I'm not here to say that I'm a sports expert, but as a business owner, I'm always thinking about the decisions that are being made from an administrative standpoint. And I always look at the front office, whether it's the GM, the assistant GM, the president, the medical staff. I always, because it can't always just be the athletes sometimes. Because these injuries, I'm like, could we have determined this earlier? And here's the thing. We would have to win 3 consecutive games now to move on to the next round. And we're 1-3. Ain't too many teams have made it to the second round at this point if they're 1-3. Good morning, Black Conscious. You are live with DT and Telly on Truth Be Told. What is your question or comment?
Good morning, my sister. I'm glad you made it back in one piece.
Thank you, brother.
And safe journeys. So listen, I'm going to be Luther for DT and answer that question for you on both parts. You remember Luther the interpreter?
Yep.
All right. So what we have here at the Green Bay Packers, Aaron Rodgers went in there and got that Brett Favre special. That was one of those specials the only football players get, and they ain't ready to really take that medicine in the NBA. And, it's over for the Bucks. They're not going to do it in that clique with that group. That injury from Giannis is worse than what it was, worse than what they're reporting.
Okay, see, now stop right there, Black Conscious. Stop right there, because that's the statement. That's the statement that I'm trying to underscore. If it's worse than what they're saying, and so on top of that, how come this wasn't established earlier? Because here's the thing. You don't put star players in at this point to try to get to the next round, because you're going to, like you said, Telly, you're going to further aggravate whatever injuries there are. So Black Conscious, I'm trying to understand, like, if the medical physicians or doctors that support NFL players like Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre, like, can we get them to do the same thing for the NBA, in particular the Milwaukee Bucks?
Here's the other thing.
That's a higher fee.
That's a what?
That's a higher fee. They're not going to pay that money that they're paying that NFL drug dealer, because that was the conjunction that Brett Favre had gotten, and see how he came back and bounced back like rubber.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. You don't do that unless you take some enhancement, some type of advanced painkiller. But on the backside of it, it makes it worse in your future, in your latter years. So a lot of times they do that, and they have complications later in life. And right now, that injury from Giannis, I'm going to use that one, if they try to rush it, it's just going to be a full-long injury, i.e. Kevin Durant, and you come back, and then you're going to be doing some setbacks that's going to mess up your future.
Well, Black Conscious, thank you so much for your call. The question is, and I want to ask this to you, Telly, and Truth Nation, 833-212-1017. Is it over for the Bucks this season? Is it na 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 na, hey hey hey, as Telly would say, peace out?
To go back to the injury report, Denise, they're not going to be fully truthful with the public because, in my opinion, when the injury happened, I said, and then remember when Tony was explaining everything about a calf strain, I was like, oh, his season is over. But you can't come out and say, well, Giannis is done for the season because you have teammates that will be like, well, shoot, we definitely don't have a chance now. And they may not respond the way that you want to, but B, and more importantly, you don't want your opponent to know that Giannis is going to play. You want them to have to try and game prep or wonder if he's going to play every game. But you're not going to come out right when it happens and say, oh, he's done for the season, unless it's just totally obvious.
I ain't the smartest tool in the shed box, but whether they announced it or not, we pretty much already knew. But anywho, y'all, we got to go to break.
Oh, yeah.
When we come back from break, we want to hear your thoughts. The Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017. Is there hope for the Bucks? Are we still cheering for the Bucks to win this Larry Trophy back? Or are we counting the days and getting ready for football? We come back, Telly, I got to talk about the NFL draft. We're going to get some other news topics, but I got to talk about the NFL draft because at first, as a Bears fan, I was really, really excited. But then I saw some certain things that made me feel a little certain type of way. You're listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. We will be back.
More of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
If you walking in a building and it's a Caucasian person walking in front of you and they don't hold that door, I mean, you're close. You're real close. Like if they just held the door for 2 seconds, you would be right behind them. You know what I mean? That's racist. Because why wouldn't you hold the door for me? And all of a sudden, when that happens to me, because I don't hold the door for people, but I become a hypocrite racially. Then I turn into Malcolm X. Oh, you can't hold the door for her, brother. Okay.
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know, Denise, out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year, 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because our home policies help protect your dreams and come with peace of mind. Save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
An unsuspecting driver at a gas station in Wisconsin.
Welcome, Pump 15. How you doing?
Great.
Were you wearing your seatbelt today?
I never wear my seatbelt.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him real good.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Donald Driver. It takes 1 second to strap a seatbelt on. Well, let's do this. Let's do it together. Now, don't that feel better?
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways.
And I should have recognized your voice when you're harassing.
I'm watching you.
Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
After an accident, don't wait to get the help you need. Call Gruber Law Offices first. There is no fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
To Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, Wednesday, May 1st, as he will be broadcasting live from the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee College Signing Day. He's going to speak with students from the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee about their journey through high school, their career aspirations, and their over $1 million worth of scholarships they have earned collectively. The Truth's coverage of the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee College Signing Day is sponsored by UW-Milwaukee. And I believe, Ricky, we got a special guest about that this morning, right? Hey, in the second hour, y'all definitely want to stay tuned because we got some more great information.
You definitely want to, Truth Nation. And this is the last day I'll be reading this, but from now until the end of April, today, we will be giving away tickets to cheer on the Brewers live from American Family Field. They're playing the Tampa Bay Rays tonight after playing the Yankees this past weekend. For your chance to win a pair of tickets to a game, you must download the 1017 The Truth app and be on the lookout for our weekly Brewers push notification. Play ball with the Truth and go watch the Brew Crew by downloading the 1017 The Truth app today.
All right, Truth Nation, it is Monday, April 29th. And before break, we were talking about the state of the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks were defeated last night. Game 4 of the Eastern Conference first-round playoffs against the Indiana Pacers at the Gainbridge Fieldhouse. They will play tomorrow at Fiserv Forum. And you know, whenever I use this word, it ain't looking too good. And the Pacers now have a 3-1 lead in the best-of-a-7 series. Indiana has won 3 straight games since losing the opener, and will reach, if they win tomorrow, right, Telly? If they win tomorrow, they're going to go on to the next round, and this will be the first time the Indiana Pacers have reached the Eastern Conference semifinals since 2014, since 2014, if they defeat us tomorrow at Fiserv Forum. Got a lot of injuries. We've been talking about, how did we get here? Now, I'm going to be Petty LaBelle for a second, Telly. And I wish there was a button that Ricky could play. Now, remember when Giannis gave that speech last year after we lost the first round? What did I say, Telly? What did I say?
Look, we got to bring it back next year.
Everybody was like,
that was cute.
Giannis.
No, that was good.
Oh, he touched my soul. And I was like, okay. I hear you talking, Dr. King, but you're an athlete. We need to bring that Larry back. And here we are again.
And you want to talk about elephants in the room? Okay, if the Bucks lose tomorrow, that will be a second straight year of first round playoff dismissals. And oh, by the way, you're paying 3 coaches to get eliminated in the first round. 3 coaches on the payroll right now.
Thinking about that. You got
Coach
Bud, Coach Adrian, and Coach Doc.
Damn.
Don't forget that ain't funny. Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. I didn't see. That's why I'm so glad we have your expertise, Telly. I didn't even think about it that way. And then can I get Milwaukee for a second? Because Midwestern people, we don't play when it comes to our money. Charging $400 for a nosebleed. Darren, my son, Darren.
You got to pay them coaches who ain't even coaching.
Don't say that, Telly. Look, you got people talking about, yeah, you're right, Telly. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. Darren was my son. He said, "Mom, are we going to the game tomorrow?" I said, "What game?" He was like, "The Bucks." I said, first of all, the effective communication coach is on a minimalist period right now. We are very selective with how we allocate our funds. Absolutely not. double hockey, absolutely not. I'm not giving any money right now. Are you kidding me? But what? I can stay at home.
But DT, I sit back and I listen to all my friends who are Bucks fans and in the barber shop and I don't say anything because we see what we want to see. Just like you told me earlier, I heard what I wanted to hear on Friday. We see what we want to see. So, okay, if Adrian Griffin is the head coach for close to 2 months, and they are 30-13. They end the season with only 46 wins. So in 4 months, Doc Rivers is only able to win 16 games as the Bucks head coach. And then down the stretch, you got the 2 seed. You lose your way out of the 2 seed. And then you think when the playoffs start, everything is supposed to just turn over and we're going to switch this light. And, oh, by the way, you're not going to have Giannis in the first round either. Like, what makes you think that, like, out of all of those things I just said, what makes you think the Bucks are going to win this series?
Can I be Petty LaBelle for one more time? And I'm going to try to see if I can get Petty Pendergrass out of you, Telly. If you were Coach Adrian Griffin, what do you think he's thinking right now? What do you think his thoughts are?
My thought, if I was Adrian Griffin, my thoughts are, boy, the 1st and the 15th, I sure love checking my bank account.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Ricky.
That's what I'm thinking.
Ricky said, not congratulations, you played yourself. Ricky, is that how you feel? If you were Adrian Griffin? Is that what you would?
Yeah, they played themselves. They had a better chance with Adrian than they do with Doc Rivers. Everybody didn't want Doc Rivers to even come here.
I'm going to do your button. Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because here's the thing, DT. Doc was available when they hired Adrian. Why didn't they get him then? So you got to go back to the reasons why, and all of a sudden they don't change just because your feelings change. It's like, oh, we need a champion. We need a coach that's won a championship before. Oh, we just got rid of one, and this is the new guy, so let's make him the fall guy, and then let's go get a coach that's won, even though it was back in 2008.
And how many did he win, Telly?
He won 1.
Exactly.
He won 1. Oh, Rick, I knew this was not a recipe that was going to automatically make the Bucks win a championship because you got rid of Adrian Griffin. But DT, back to what you asked, if I'm Griff, yep, I guess it wasn't me, huh? That's what I mean. As I check my bank account.
Was it ever a question regarding his ability to coach the Bucks, or was it? And again, so if you're just tuning in, Truth Nation, I've got my Petty LaBelle hat on. Or was it a matter of, I don't like him, get rid of him?
Hey, that's a really good question that only insiders could answer.
Let me be real Petty LaBelle. I don't like him, get rid of him. I don't like him. Was that better, Ricky?
Hey, no. And that wasn't even Giannis. That was Thanasis.
Don't see now you're trying to
get rid of him.
Now you're trying to trigger me because you know how I feel. Boy, Telly.
Hey.
Don't.
Hey, no, DT, I thought about you last night. So Kevin Hart was in town last night, and I had a chance to check him out, and he was talking about. So he comes on stage, and he was like, "Yep, the Bucks. If you're a Bucks fan, it ain't looking good." And then he was like, "So what? Yeah, misery likes company. My Sixers lost earlier, so yeah, of course the Bucks are losing." But he was talking about when he's come across Giannis during the All-Star break, and he would be trying to say his last name, and that's what made me think of you. And he was like, "Giannis thinks I'm trying to be a jerk, but I can't get his name right." He's like, he say, Giannis,
You know that. But here's my thing, though. Side note before we get. Oh, I'm sorry. So here's my thing, though. And to kind of get off track a little bit, my son told me. He said, "Mom," he's like, "Do you know how much money Giannis has left on the table because they wouldn't add his brother?" He said, "Oh, it wasn't just one." Because you remember we played the soundbite where he shared this story about how he turned down with Adidas. Darren was like, "Oh, Mama, it wasn't just Adidas." He goes, "There's been several corporations that have wanted to partner with Giannis and have Giannis endorse their products. We're talking like millions and millions of dollars." And Giannis was like, "No, brother, no Giannis." And see, now that's a different culture because black folks, I'm going to get this money. Look, let me say it differently. Black American folks. Now look, Thanasis, I'm going to get this check and I'm going to break you off. Okay?
And then I'm going to get you on.
I'm going to sign you. And because here's the thing, when I brought it up the last time, there are a lot of listeners that were saying, that's what's wrong with Black Americans. And, we don't know how to. I'm like, dude, we have been bringing our families sometimes to a fault. And I brought up, look at Whitney Houston. Look at Tony Brown. There are so many athletes as well as entertainers that say, look, they don't want you or they don't want us. They want me. But when I get this check, I'm going to put you on. That's the same thing. That's the same.
DT,
like, we still getting paid.
Yes, but it's also you're working from a different mentality as well.
Oh, yeah.
He wasn't turning these deals down when he was a rookie and when he first got to America. He's turning these deals down after two $100+ million contracts on the basketball court. Yes, you could turn down something like, some millions because you already got it. But if you're working from a place of, okay, I don't have millions yet, of course. I mean, you're going to be like, look, man, hey, they trying to get me on now. Let me get on, and then I'll get you on. It's kind of like how you talked about the Braxtons, and it's like how when Nelly came up.
Yeah.
When he was with the St. Lunatics.
Look at LeBron. LeBron James did that. I'll put you on.
Yeah, they were like, look, man, we got you. So I'm going to go first, and then I'm going to bring you. It doesn't matter if you come when I do, as long as you get there.
Man.
But trust me, he already had millions. You don't turn down millions unless you already have millions.
Well, more millions sounds, I'm commerce driven. So speaking of sports, my question to you, Telly, and Truth Nation, 833-212-1017. What is the state of professional sports all across the board? Because in addition to what I've seen with our Milwaukee Bucks, and for the record, I love Giannis. There are just some, and I know it's a lot to do with culture. There are just some business making decisions of him that I don't agree with. Number two, I'm trying to understand what the front office of the Milwaukee Bucks are doing. Number three, what in the BB King is going on with LeBron James? Now, I know there's been an ongoing debate for the past 10, 15 years. Who's the greatest of all-time basketball player? And it's always been traditionally either Michael Jordan, and I think it's very generational, but it's either Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or LeBron James. After I saw LeBron James, after the most recent loss with the Los Angeles Lakers say, it's just, and I'm quoting, it's just basketball. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? So for those that think that LeBron or feel that LeBron James is the greatest of all time, please show me audio where Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant has ever said after losing in the playoffs, the most critical time of the season where it counts, where it matters. It's just basketball. When we come back from break, I want to hear y'all's thoughts. We're going to get Telly's reaction, 833-212-1017. And in conjunction with that, Telly, we definitely got to talk about these NFL players that I saw throughout the draft last week.
You didn't approve of some of them suits?
We're going to talk about it when we come back. It's not a fashion show. It's football. You're listening to the best morning show on planet Earth, Truth Be Told, with DT and Telly on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
More of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Telly Hughes with his truth.
How many times have we been told perception is reality? Look, I'm not here to dispute that, but as true as that statement is, it couldn't be further from the truth when it comes to social media. The way we perceive something or somebody on social media is typically nowhere near how things are in their real lives. Unfortunately, identifying the difference between people's online life versus their real lives gets compromised because people want it to be real. And that's okay. What's not okay is people trying to live up to these fictitious lives that's being presented and getting thousands of likes. You often see posts of people on vacation with the caption, "Living my best life," or "So-and-so doesn't owe me anything." Again, nothing wrong with that, but I wish people would view social media like they do SportsCenter. On those type of sports shows, they only show the highlights of the game. Highlights. On social media, you're only seeing the highlights of people's lives because you probably won't get many likes on a post that shows you stressing over having more bills than money and trying to figure it out. The point is, don't get caught up trying to live up to something that isn't even real. Influencers are going to influence, and some have made a hefty living doing so. But happiness isn't a one-size-fit-all contraption. Create your own happiness. Plan out how you're going to obtain it, and then protect it the same way you would guard your most prized possession.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth Be Told with DT and Telly weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
My name is Ariel. When I arrived in the U.S. at 19, I struggled to find job opportunities without my high school diploma. My entire life changed when I took a chance and got my high school diploma at age 22. Everything I have, my education, my career, my marriage, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and my teachers. They were with me every step of the way, helping with my English and math, making sure I push through all the challenges.
Ariel, your success proves that what I'm doing as a teacher has real meaning.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
Education was the key that unlocked all my opportunities.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
We got an accident in the stadium interchange that is affecting your ride. It is out of traffic, but it's in a spot where folks are slowing down anyway. So we got backups all the way back through the Marquette in all directions. Eastbound 94 is backing up from 84th Street through the stadium. Also southbound 43 heavy from before Hampton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. Northbound's going to be slowing down from just before North Avenue up to about Keefe. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Morning scattered showers, isolated in the afternoon, breezy with a high of 70. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 47. For the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Alex Selez. The Green Bay Packers 2024 draft class is official. 11 new Packers have been drafted, headlined by first-round pick offensive lineman from Arizona, Jordan Morgan, and a couple of second-round defensive players in linebacker Edrin Cooper out of Texas A&M and Georgia safety Javon Bullard. Over in the NBA, the Bucks without Giannis and Dame now are down 3-1 in the series to the Pacers after Sunday's loss in Indiana, 126-113. They come back home to Milwaukee and are set to play on Tuesday. Tip-off is scheduled for 8:30 with coverage beginning over on WTMJ at 8. Finally, in baseball, the Brewers lost at home to the Yankees on Sunday, 15-5. They are set to play the Tampa Bay Rays in Milwaukee this Monday. First pitch is scheduled for 6:40 with coverage beginning over on WTMJ at 6:05. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown team's member, FDIC.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
$10 bands, 50 bands, 100 bands, man. Let's just not even discuss it, man. OMG. Sleep, I ain't tripping, I'ma let him sleep. I ain't tripping, let him rest in peace. I can tell you how it happened.
Listen
I can tell you about them stage
to the best morning show on planet Earth. Good morning, Truth Nation. Hope y'all had a great weekend. It's Monday. And although it is raining outside, Telly, we are, again, I'm going to be optimistic. We're 6 feet above the ground. Well, I'm 5'7" above the ground. So shout out to all of us who have another day on this earth. We've been talking about the Bucks loss. Y'all, the reality is this. We would have to win 3 consecutive games in order to advance to the second round, or what they call the Eastern Conference semifinals. I'll tell you what, Indiana woke up this morning smiling. They're like, yes.
Yeah.
Creation.
They've done what they had to do.
They brought it. Creation Muse on our YouTube message board says, Giannis, just when you thought a person had it all together, still leaving large amounts of free money on the table, though. It is what it is. He said, especially compared to where he came from. Well,
yeah.
Remember Friday when Bernie Mac was like, over here on the west side, we call this a 20-twin. I'm like, well, over here in the Midwest, we don't care about what money he left on the table. We want a Larry Trophy back. Giving all them speeches, talking about we got next season. Well, it's next season. Where's our trophy? Midwest folks work hard. We live in paycheck to paycheck. Darren asking his mama, are we going to a Bucks game? Absolutely not. I'll watch it from home. Thank you. What? Don't get me started. Telly?
That was from the first rock of Bucks Baptist Church.
And I would ask if we could pass the plate, but we ain't got no money. I'm just playing. We winning, y'all. We still eating over here.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is going to be a challenge, and I know we're about to transition into just sports, professional sports overall, but I mean, with the Bucks again, like I said before, it's not like anybody couldn't see this coming. It's not like they were on a 15-game winning streak and all of a sudden they started losing. This has been the same way since Doc has been the coach. But anyway, we move on.
I'm speaking.
They got Game 5 tomorrow.
Telly, look at my
Game
face.
5's tomorrow.
Telly, come on now. All right, so let's talk about the state of professional sports in general. Because here's the thing. Last season, when the Bucks were knocked out of the first round of the playoffs, I was like, you know what? Okay, well, let's get ready for some football. This year, I'm like, where should I start being? Should I be a baseball fan now, Telly? Because I watched the NFL draft, and everyone was saying, hey, I was getting texts, I was getting phone calls. Man, the Bears, y'all had a nice draft. Got y'all the number 1 pick quarterback. Got you a nice wide receiver. Things are looking pretty good for the Bears. And then the post-draft conferences began. Now, I want to say this, y'all. I love my Bears and I love my Bucks. I love sports in general because sports, ultimately for me, Telly, it is very inspiring because I am a competitive person. And even when I'm in the gym working out, I've got Kobe in my head. Embrace the pain. Embrace the pain. You know, it's you compete against yourself. Bring 100%. And I'm seeing, and I know this is a generational thing, Telly, but I'm seeing things, and I'm like, where are we going? Like when you see Patrick Mahomes and other quarterbacks or other players from competing teams, and they're playing golf together. When you see, and this is me speaking, I want to be clear, this is my truth. When you see quarterbacks going to the same nail salon that I'm going to, when you see professional athletes, you know, like I'm trying to get the latest Louis bag, and they're like, "Oh man, you missed it. We just sold one to Caleb." I'm getting concerned. And then you got LeBron James, you know, with his whole custom Louis Vuitton outfit on, and y'all 0 to 3, and he talking about it's just basketball. Drops the mic on the table and walks off with Anthony Davis, who, look, LeBron literally picked all the players that he wanted to play with him on the Lakers. And we know that when LeBron doesn't get his way, he demonstrates what I call a tantrum. But when you're part of a organization that has been regarded as one of the most legendary, historically great, professional, not just basketball, but professional athletic teams of all time, Los Angeles Lakers, and we're in the playoffs, and you talking about it's just basketball and walk away? Where are we within professional sports, Telly? What is the state? Because I'm like, I can't relate. Is it generational? Like you go play golf like Patrick Mahomes. Let's go play golf. Let's be friends.
Yeah, it is. Wow, it is so interesting how things have changed over the years, and I think it has a lot to do with AAU. I mean, all these guys are friends. No one, like, you know, there's no rivalries anymore. There's no Michael Jordan and the Bulls versus the bad boy Pistons, and because if you think those guys ever went out to eat or golf together, you're crazy. They literally did not like each other, and that's the way when it comes to competition. I really think it should be. In terms of I can't get in the mind of LeBron saying it's just a game. I mean, the only thing I could hope for is him trying to get his teammates to say, okay, this is what we've been doing. It's no different than in the regular season, so don't put extra pressure. That's the only thing I would have rather with a comment like that.
I would have rather him pull an Aaron Rodgers and say RELAX. I would have received that.
Yeah,
better.
He could have. But in terms of the nail, we were talking about it off air with your quarterback, Caleb Williams, and his nails being painted, and he has the Bears on his nails. Now, regardless, I don't care if you put "I'm the baddest MF on in the world" on your nails. They still paint it, and people like so. But that's nothing new for him. Just an FYI, DT, little history lesson on Caleb. He was doing that in college as well. That's what my dad, after he got drafted.
That's what my dad told me.
He was doing that. He was doing that in college, and he would put like they played Utah. He would put F Utah on his nails, and yeah, that's another form of expressing yourself. But I'm not. Yeah, and when it comes to the bags and the nails and.
I get it.
It seems like the priorities are somewhere else.
Now, see, now you're saying that's what I'm trying to get to, because my thing is, you. However you want to express yourself, do you. However, it's like I'm trying to can somebody coach me? Can somebody help me get acclimated with this new generation of professional sports? Because that's one of the reasons why I love sports, because it was And like you said, Telly, you take that, and I don't want to use the word hatred, you take that anger that you have for your opponent on the field, and that's what gives you the fuel to win, to beat them. And I don't want to use the word soft. I don't want to use the word soft, and I'm a female. Now,
start saying all the words you don't want to use. I don't want to say soft or weak or.
I mean, I'm going into Ulta and I'm going to aisle 9 looking for my favorite fingernail polish. They're like, "Oh, we're out. You just missed it." Caleb he brought the whole 20-pack of your favorite color. Like when Caleb, I want to paint my nails blue and orange, but you took it all. I can't even do that now because you bought all the blue and orange nail polish. When we come back from break, we're going to get to some local headlines. But y'all, seriously, pray for your girl DT, because as we are, hopefully not, but the reality is like we're exiting our basketball season and now getting ready for football. I don't know how to feel, Telly. I literally don't know how to feel. This is the best morning show on planet Earth. Truth be told, with DT and Telly. When we come back, we're going to get into some local news. Once again, we have 2 missing black females in Milwaukee under the age of 13. And the Milwaukee Police Department is seeking our assistance. When we come back, we're going to give you more information about that. We got some special guests in the building the second hour. Stay tuned. You're listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. Truth be told, with DT and Telly on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. Truth be told, with DT and Telly, will be right back on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, the time is almost here. Be sure to tap into the Tory Lowe Show Friday, May 3rd, as I will be giving away $5,000 to one of our lucky true fans who was entered in to win the Gruber Law Office's $5,000 giveaway. Again, that's Friday, May 3rd, when I will be giving away $5,000 to one of our lucky true fans between 1 and 4. And remember, you have to be tapped into the show in order to win this cash money.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance. And you can weather any storm. You'll also save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote. Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Rock, then bend my knees every time the beat drop.
Truth Nation, at Old National Bank, they know there's nothing small about keeping up a small business. That's why they developed their empowerment loan program to help give people of color and women-owned businesses equal access to funds up to $5 million. This substantial commitment shows that Old National Bank truly believes that every small business deserves the opportunity to change their community in a big way. Learn more today by visiting oldnational.com/empowerment loan. Old National Bank, get old. All loans are subject to credit approval. Minimum loan amount, $25,000. Additional program qualifications or restrictions may apply. For full details, contact an Old National small business banker. Shout out to Old National Bank because they were in the building last week, Telly, with us.
Okay.
Tracy Meeks.
Yeah, you had a lunch or something, didn't you?
Yeah. We had a great week. But I'm glad that you're back, Telly. I missed you. I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Like, don't be having me flying now. And you know, I know you busy. I know you in demand doing the Big Ten and going to see Kevin Hart. Thanks for the invite, by the way. Anywho, yeah, just show some love tomorrow. Love to see you. That's all I'm saying.
I'll be there.
Thank you.
I'll be there.
In more serious reports, and this hurts my heart because, again, we've been reporting a number of missing black women, young black women. Sade Robinson, who was 19 years old, who, by the way, her mother is still pleading to be able to get closure by having all of, and I hate to say it like this, Telly, but this is the truth. You know, she was dismembered. Her body was dismembered when she was murdered. And the family, including Sade Robinson's mother, is saying, we still don't have Sade intact, all whole, all of her body parts. Can you imagine that? I mean, it's already one thing to have to bury your child. Now, as of yesterday, around 2 a.m., the Milwaukee Police Department is seeking our assistance, Truth Nation, in locating a critically missing person. Chloe Therese Henderson is an 11-year-old black female, around 5'7", with a slim build, and she weighs approximately 90 pounds. She is likely to be wearing a black hooded sweatshirt with black and blue Crocs. And those are shoes, by the way, if you're not familiar with Crocs. Henderson was last seen near Palmer and Hadley. And Henderson is in the company of her missing friend, 12-year-old Olivia G., according to the Milwaukee Police Department. Now, Olivia G. is described as a 12-year-old black female, around 5'3", slim build, weighing approximately 130 pounds. G was seen last wearing, and that's Olivia G., wearing a white hooded sweatshirt over a different white-blue sweatshirt with blue jeans and white Nike shoes. The Milwaukee Police Department are reporting that they both left by foot on Sunday, last night. I guess I should say Sunday morning around 2 a.m. So if you have any information regarding the whereabouts, the MPD is asking you to call the District 5 Police Station at 414-935-7252. Chloe Therese Henderson and Olivia G. are critically missing persons, both young black females under the age of 13. This has to stop. This has to stop, y'all.
Just absolutely hate hearing and reporting these type of stories because you just come off of something so horrific with Sade Robinson, and then, like you said, her parents or her mom is still trying to fully get her intact to have a respectful and
complete
peaceful homegoing,
and
complete homegoing, absolutely. And then you turn around and then boom, you hear this, and like you said, it has to stop. There has to be ways of figuring out how to not have so many of these specifically black missing females. It just, the rate that it is happening, it has to stop. There has to be something that's put in place to curb this. And yeah, it's really heartbreaking to even like I said, either read, hear, or report on these type of things.
Well, as we go to break, again, if you have any information regarding the whereabouts of these two young, beautiful black females, please call 414-935-7252, which is the Milwaukee Police Department District 5 Police Station. When we come back from the break, we've got some special guests in the building to talk about ways that you, if you have a soon-to-be college student, can attend a post-secondary education institution for free 99. We've also got some interesting topics in the second hour, including the Tennessee legislator has just passed a bill that would allow teachers and school staffers to carry concealed handguns in schools. Want to get your thoughts? How would you feel if that were to be approved in Wisconsin? 833-212-1017. Stay tuned. We're coming back at the top of the hour. This is the best morning show on planet Earth. Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
We do this for you, Truth Nation. Because of your unwavering support, we are a 24-time WBA award finalist.
Did you ever think that you would be in this position right now where your daughter would have some way lose her life?
I didn't want to believe it. All the times I called, sometimes the phone would ring and ring and ring for days. I didn't want to know that she had successfully committed suicide.
We are the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Look at how Black, powerful people are covered in the media and portrayed. We're not talking about their innocence or guilt. We're talking about how it is handled. It is an attempt to continue to perpetuate the stereotype that Black, powerful, wealthy people can only be Black, powerful, wealthy people based on their criminal activities. And that is not consistent with other races or genders.
You're so right when you look at a lot of the people that have risen to prominence. With Bishop T.D. Jakes, man of the cloth, after you reach a certain point and it's, he's this or he's doing that, and tied him to Diddy. And the thing is, that is the common theme. And this goes back to the 60s. It goes back to Dr. King and Malcolm X and being on the FBI most wanted list.
Tune in to all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows all day, every day by downloading the Truth app.
I'm Shanola Hampton. Every day, millions of people face hunger. Today, I will share with you some of their experiences. I'm stuck between paying for medications or paying for food. John from Maine. After paying my bills, I can buy groceries. It's sad to say, food comes last. Alice from Oregon. I thought pantries were for less fortunate people, but anybody could be less fortunate in a day or even a second. Claire from Virginia. The Feeding America network of food banks helps provide over 6 billion meals to people in need each year. No one should have to worry where their next meal will come from. Together, we can end hunger. Learn more at feedingamerica.org.
Get the truth and nothing but the truth with Sherwin Hughes every weekday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 1017 FM, 1510 a.m. WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. It is Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Having Aflac support financially has
Good morning, Truth Nation. Now I'm smiling. I'm good now because we got a special guest in the building. This is a brother from another mother. He's not new to the Truth, Telly. You know, he's a frequent guest. And of course, every time this brother comes to the studio, he's got nothing but great news. And
yes,
Andre, you know I tell you this all the time. before I give you your formal introduction. You're one of the most humble leaders that I've ever met in my life, and you are so committed. Like, how many hours do you sleep on? Well, hold on. Let me be formal before we get into that. Truth Nation, we've got live in the studio Andre Douglas, who is the assistant vice president. He's an executive. He's a boss. He's a leader. And he loves him some Milwaukee. He is the assistant vice president for the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee. And he oversees the college, career, and teen services. Dre, we go back, what?
10 years?
Well, I'm only 20, so.
Yeah, and I'm only 15.
So yeah, we'll just say
5.
We'll just say 5. Telly, how long you and Dre go back? Now, how long have you known Andre?
I can't remember. Andre, do you know, when did we meet?
I think we met in passing at a Bucks game, and then through church here in Milwaukee too. So probably about 6 or 7 years, but more recently about 4 years or so.
And Telly, what was your first impression of Andre when you met him?
Oh, solid dude, man. Solid dude.
Solid.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
Now, we know you're here because we know you're busy. So I know you got a schedule. You probably got like 20 meetings already you got to go to. So here's what I love about your leadership and what you're driving here in Milwaukee. So you are, again, assistant vice president for the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee College, Career, and Teen Services.
Yeah.
To date, over 90 scholars combined have received over $1 million in scholarships. And as of Wednesday, May 1st, is going to be the annual college signing day at Direct Supply. So tell us about that.
Yeah. So the good news is first of all, thank you for having me, and thank you for the accolades. You all know me. God gets the glory, and everything I do, I try to help others, and that's sort of what drives the schedule and all the many things I have to do. And, of course, accompanied by a dynamic team of champions that allow me to be great and help carry the vision. So I'm grateful for all that. But, one correction. So when we printed our college signing day brochures, we printed about a week ago, and we put a number in there, I think, of 18 million. But since then, they have now increased to 21.
What?
So the class of 2024, those students that are in our Grad Plus program are collectively at $21 million in college scholarships.
Did anybody say we don't want the scholarship unless my brother gets one too? I'm sorry, I digress. Go ahead.
Yeah. And so all of this will bring us to this Wednesday, our annual College Signing Day celebration, presented by Direct Supply, supported by the Milwaukee Bucks, Cousin Subs, Reyes, Coca-Cola, and, of course, our friends at The Truth as our media sponsor. So we're looking forward to just celebrating the great things that's happening in Milwaukee.
How are the students, our future leaders, how are they reacting to this, Andre? Like, what do you see?
Every single day we get closer, they get excited, right? But also, let's not take away the nerve that some of them might have, right? Because this is the next chapter of their lives. And I think you all remember the last time I was here, we talked about how in America college culture, we're asking 17-year-olds to know what they want to do for the rest of their lives, right, through their college education. And so, although there's some nervousness, we've been helping our students turn the page to let them know that it is okay to celebrate these moments, right? You've been grinding all year in school. You've been knocking out those courses. You've been good citizens. So take the time to turn up with a purpose, right? One of the things I tell my college students, we're blessed to be in the to and through college space. As we get our A's and B's, don't forget to turn up legally, and have some fun with it. So our kids are getting there, knowing that they're about to have some fun on Wednesday night. We got some surprises coming out. We're introducing the latest. We're awarding 25 winners, the Donald Driver Boys and Girls Club scholarships. So that's going to be a surprise for them. We're awarding probably another $100,000 worth of scholarships the day of. And none of these teams know that they're winning yet. And so it's going to be a huge surprise come Wednesday night for scholars and their families.
I would love to be there for that. Andre, as always, we really appreciate you joining us.
Yes,
and
sir.
You just said 21 million. That's a lot of money, a lot of scholarship dollars. But and kudos to the students that have earned those scholarship dollars. But what does that say for you and your program of getting that information out where that much money is available? Because a lot of times that money is out there, but students may not know how to go about it. So that really is a testament to the Boys and Girls the program that you run and just getting this information out. How have you seen that change over the years in terms of students having the exposure to these scholarship dollars?
Yeah, when we start our program, we make it clear that we will help support students to any college they want to go to. But we're also not shy about hiding college costs, college fit, et cetera, et cetera. And so as students are talking about all these different institutions, whether it be HBCU, local private, local public, at the end of the day, how are we going to pay for it? And so we start that freshman year of high school really just educating them about financial fit early. A lot of times what I've seen, in my career of college access is parents and students and families start talking about money when it's way too late, right? So if you're listening out there and you have a freshman coming up or you have a current freshman, start talking about the costs now, because that will help set in some reality for the student and the family, right? We can get accepted to probably 90% of the college we apply to, but we could probably only pay for a smaller percentage. So how do we now expose families? Well, number one, you create a curriculum that requires hard work. So the average student in the GP program.
I'm sorry. Could you repeat those two words one more again? Requires what?
I forgot what I said. It's in the morning.
Hard
GT.
work.
Thank you. Hard work. Yes. And we tell our students all the time, we love you, but no one is just going to dump a pot of money in your lap. You have to grind. You have to want it. And we can't want it more than you want it. And so the average student in our program will at least apply to 15 scholarships. And what we do, Telly, is we require probably about 20 mandatory scholarships. And what that means is, in order to stay in our program, this is almost like a homework assignment. So you have to apply for at least this set amount. But a good senior, listen to me, parents and aspiring seniors who want college to be close to debt-free, a good senior will apply to 2 or 3 scholarships a week, because that not only shows your seriousness, but it might also let a parent know, you know what, if he doesn't or she doesn't get this money, then I'm more compelled to give to their education because at least they're doing the work.
Wow. I love how you said that. Now, Andre, I just want to let's go here for a second, because I love your hoodie.
Thank you.
Your
Thank
hoodie
you.
is definitely. Oh, before we get into my question, Curly Q on the YouTube message boards, she says, "Hey, Mr. Dre, my baby girl is in Grad Plus program. Exciting place to be."
I appreciate that. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, the reality is, as I'm looking at your hoodie, college applicants to historically black colleges and universities has not only doubled, in some instances, based on the area of the country, have tripled in terms of applicants.
Yeah.
Can you expand on that a little bit? What's driving that, and how is the Boys and Girls Club scholarship program supporting or navigating through that?
Yeah, that's a great question. So there's a lot of dimensions that's driving in, HBCU enrollment. Number one, we're not oblivious to what's going on in America. I love America, but there's been some challenges for people of color as it relates to whatever experience you want it to be, whether that be the George Floyd incident, whether that be the election of, the then president or the current president. So there's a lot of things that's driving it. And from what we hear from a lot of students, they want to be around people that look like them. And that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But we also reiterate that it's all good to want to do all of that, but at the end of the day, your college education shouldn't cost you the price of a home. It shouldn't be the most expensive investment that you make. So the way we help students navigate is, number one, we encourage them to apply to the GATE Scholarship. And the GATE Scholarship is a highly competitive scholarship, last dollar scholarship that will pay for students to go anywhere in the country if they're accepted in that prestigious program. We also encourage them to get involved in, if some of these HBCUs have like summer programs, but also to just be really good students. I won't reveal the scholar, but we have a scholar committing to Spelman College on Wednesday, and it is fully debt-free.
Woo!
It's fully debt-free, and it's fully debt-free because of their GPA, their ACT. They put in the work. They were in the Harvard pre-college program. They were in GP. So to make those colleges that are more expensive to pay for notice them, they did the work to get there. Now, that doesn't mean that every hard worker is going to get a free education anywhere, because we also know historically HBCUs don't have the level of endowment as some private universities, and that's okay, and they're doing their best. But if we want the exposure to be greater and we want more kids to be there, kids got to be able to afford it. At the end of the day. And I love HBCUs. I wish I could have went to Morehouse, but my pocketbook said something else. So did my academics, right? So I can love you.
Dre, you good. Trust me.
I'm good.
You are good.
Okay. I just wanted Milwaukee to hear me.
We're joined in the studio by Andre Douglas, Assistant Vice President of College Career and Teen Services. And Dre, before we let you go, one last thing. We just got a shout out, like Denise just read, about the Grad Plus program. And just in 60 seconds, could you just let us know a little bit more about that Grad Plus program and the big night that's coming up on May 1st?
Yeah. You know, the GP program, the thing I love to say the most about it, anything we put our mind to, it's what we make it, right? So this could be an amazing experience for you. It could be a bad experience for you. Everybody's story is different. We tend to err on the side of mostly good stories. So the Grad Plus program is a to and through college program at the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Milwaukee. Been around since about 2008. Graduated over 700 students with bachelor's degrees. About 88% of our students are done with manageable debt or no debt at all. We work with students from 9th grade through college graduation, scholarship support, academic advising, career assistance, and internship assistance, really just an entire wraparound program. We're currently recruiting for 9th grade students. If you visit our website, bgcmilwaukee.org/college, you can learn more. But it doesn't get much better in our city than GP. We have a lot of great programs. Shout out to my partners at, Upward Bound, All in Milwaukee, College Possible, all of those. If you can find something like GP, that's equally as important. So parents, get your kids involved in college access and success programs. It does make a difference. And Wednesday, we celebrate the 11th anniversary of College Signing Day, presented by Direct Supply, a sold-out event. You can watch it on our Facebook page. And we are celebrating $21 million in scholarships and college acceptances for a mostly first-generation low-income group of kids.
Andre Douglas, Assistant Vice President, College Career and Teen Services from the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee. Dre, thank you so much for being here. I know you'll be back.
Yeah.
I'm so sending y'all great energy for the College Signing Day on May 1st. You are listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. We got to take a break. But again, Dre, thank you. I know you're going to go save some lives for the rest of the day. We love you, brother. We'll see you soon, y'all. Stay tuned. We got more to come when we come back. This is the best morning show on planet Earth on Truth Be Told.
More of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Milwaukee, we are in the heart of the basketball season, and we have all the local hoops news you need to hear. Get your weekly smile on with our Nothing But the Truth Basketball Report, brought to you by Bouban Orthodontics. On Nothing But the Truth, we'll keep you in the loop on all the local Milwaukee hoops news, from high school all the way to the pros. So don't miss your shot to join in on the hoops talk by tuning into the Truth Basketball Report on Nothing But the Truth, right here on the new award-winning 1017 The Truth, brought to you by Bouban Orthodontics, the official smile of the Milwaukee Bucks.
Sharon needed legal help. She needed Gruber Law Offices.
When I think about Gruber Law Office, I think about how they took care of me, how they make sure that you get what you're supposed to get. Gruber Law Office. One call, that's all. I will always trust one call, that's all.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
They are the best. I'm very happy.
All Brewers games are on sale now. Coming up, a divisional battle with the Cardinals Thursday, May 9th through Sunday, the 12th. Make your Saturday night plans for Star Wars night. Then take home a Mother's Day Brewers belt bag giveaway at the game on Sunday, the 12th. Presented by American Family Insurance. Don't miss out on a weekend of rivalry baseball. Grab your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hey, yo, Tim, man, Mr. Jump Off right here, man.
What's going on, Truth Nation? It is Monday. Happy Monday. Shout out to Andre Douglas, who just left the studio. Shout out to the $21 million in scholarships for the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee's College. What?
I just want some of that money to be around next year for my daughter. That's what I'm concerned.
First of all, your daughter is a rock star, okay? And I will be mad at you and Mrs. Hughes if you at any point in time tell me that she got a college bill. Your daughter is the bomb.com. She ain't got no worries.
I hope that's the case.
Well, you heard
She ain't got none, but we do.
Well, he gave you the blueprint. Start now.
I know.
Yeah.
That ain't the first time or the last time I'm going to talk to Dre.
I know that's right.
We going to connect now.
And I guarantee you, what's your oldest name? Well, we don't need to tell names, but I guarantee the oldest thing going to be like, well, I'm not going to take this scholarship unless my little sister gets it too. Keaton bitter. Just a tad bit. Just a slight.
Not at all.
I don't like losing. And Midwesterners, we work too hard for ours. So anywho, speaking of Little Kim, side note, she was just declared as the number 2 rapper of all time on this like best female rappers. And
by who?
Wait a minute. I thought she should be. Wait a minute. Who you think should be number 2 or number 1?
I just honestly, I don't know, but I think when I think of female rap artists, I don't think that Lil' Kim is the first one that I think of. In my opinion,
okay.
I mean, that's just me. That's just me. I mean,
who
I don't know.
Think of?
Maybe. I guess I think of like.
You better not say Queen Latifah either. Excuse Grace, say Queen Latifah. Look at you.
That I was.
That's your truth.
But I mean, exactly. Like, I don't know. I mean, because I think there are a lot of female hip hop artists that have paved the way for the ones that are, rocking and getting paid now. But I mean, don't get me wrong. I definitely was a Lil' Kim fan when she was with Junior Mafia and doing all that, and her first solo album. I mean, yeah, I'm not hating on Lil' Kim. I'm just saying that wasn't the first name that pops up when I think of all time greats. That's all.
Okay, well we'll talk about that another day because that's a whole show right there. Because when I saw that she was number 2, I was actually offended that she wasn't number 1. But anywho. Look at
Who's
Ricky.
number 1 before you continue?
That's so they didn't. They're going to announce it either tomorrow or Wednesday. But again, I digress. Gotcha. So check this out, Truth Nation and Telly. Tennessee, the state legislation of Tennessee, has joined more than 2/3 of the states in this country in allowing teachers to carry guns in public schools. And it's getting a lot of attention because again. A lot of people are protesting, saying that this is not the right thing to do. Although there are 30 other states besides Tennessee in this country that allow teachers to carry guns on public school campus. And Tennessee just passed this earlier this week. And again, there's a lot of parents that are concerned primarily because of the lack thereof of background checks. So, for example, if you allow a teacher to carry a gun or a concealed handgun in the school, and let's say this particular teacher is going through some psychological issues and has a trigger one day and decides to shoot the classroom. Now, the Tennessee legislator, along with the other 30 states in this country, Telly, are rationalizing this in response to the uptick or increase in school shootings. To carry a concealed weapon in a public school, a teacher will have to complete 40 hours of training. Now, again, this was passed by the Tennessee legislator on Tuesday of last week that permits teachers and school staff to carry concealed handguns in school. And the debate has been very intense as it marks a significant move by Republican leaders following a tragic incident in which 6 individuals lost their lives to a shooter at a Nashville school. So on Tuesday, the Tennessee legislator approved a bill that permits teachers and school staff to carry concealed handguns in school. And again, this has sparked a lot of controversy. What are your thoughts?
I'm not feeling it. I don't think that the gun problem is solved by adding more guns. I think that it's something that we definitely, not we, but lawmakers and people who are gun activists, gun rights activists, they're always going to find a way to make it seem as though more guns and you protecting yourself. You brought up a great point. You don't know what type of psychological states that these teachers may be in. And then on top of that, so do you think that they're going to have this extensive training to get these guns, and then all of a sudden they're going to turn into Martin and Will and like bad boys if something breaks out in the classroom? Like, so just because you own a gun don't mean you know how to operate it effectively. And so there's so many things that could go wrong more than things that can go right if you allow more guns into the school and to the classroom. I mean, where are we right now in terms of just wanting to, being America where you could just go and get an education and not have to worry about getting shot up? And so, it sounds on the surface to me that, the teachers can now protect themselves. But, if you got a teacher that's been teaching 25 years and she's on her way out, so you're going to give a 58, 60-year-old, person a gun. And there's so many things that can go wrong with that. So my thing is, let's start to find out how we can eliminate some of these guns that are being used by people that aren't properly trained, as opposed to saying, okay, let's just throw more guns out there and hopefully you'll protect yourself.
Yep. Truth Nation, here's the question. Should teachers be allowed to carry guns in school? We're going to get a poll right now on our YouTube channel. Should teachers be allowed to carry guns in school, in particular public schools? The Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017. We want to hear your thoughts. Now, for me, Telly, I'm 50-50 because, and I wholeheartedly agree with your feelings and your perspective because, again, teachers, their passion and you being married to a teacher is to teach, is to educate. And,
right,
I remember when you and I were in school, they had what they called corporal punishment, like the paddle.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I remember for a teacher to get to the point where you were going to receive corporal punishment, i.e. the paddle on your rear end, they were pretty mad. Like, I have vivid memories of the teachers that were like, you know what? And it was like a process. Like, they had to go to the principal's office and fill out an application, and or not an application, but a form. Yeah. Then they had to call the parents, and then I remember distinctively hearing the student in the hallway getting paddled. Now, I bring that up because if a teacher potentially got to the point where they're so mad that they go in that closet, and I'm being dramatic, but these are things that are real because a lot of teachers are under a lot of stress. And their psychological safety is being compromised due to the lack of pay. You got 50 students in one classroom. There's just a lot of factors that really, it's a lot of stress for.
And the biggest thing, DT, before you continue, is the disrespect.
Now, see,
That's the thing. If you're constantly being disrespected every day, you have these kids that's talking to you any kind of way, doing stuff. You don't know one day it may all bubble up and bubble over.
Exactly. Now, on the other hand, Telly, I've been very disappointed with how the police departments have responded holistically. Like, I got a shooter in the classroom, and you got police officers literally outside scared to come in, as we saw in Texas. Good morning, Al. You are live with DT and Telly on Truth Be Told. What is your comment or question?
Well, the comment is y'all remember, this is Tennessee. They're still stuck in those times. The same Tennessee that let a 27-year-old woman marry a 10-year-old. A teacher is there to provide education, not carry a gun. Now, what's to say the teacher who has a gun who's black, and you know them country boy white folks down there gonna shoot and blow his head off? Absolutely not. If they have a problem, either they need to homeschool the kids or they need to bring in some people. A teacher comes to teach, not play John Wayne.
Okay, well, let me ask you this, Al. So it's not just Tennessee. There are 30 other states in this country, including Delaware, Nebraska, North Carolina, West Virginia. Or excuse me, I'm sorry. Those are states, I apologize. Those are states that prohibit. But let me give you some other states. Texas, Florida, Arizona, Mississippi, and South Dakota are 6 states, or 5 of the states, now Tennessee, that allow out of the 30 states to employees to carry concealed carry weapons. So it's not just Tennessee. It's a whole other 30 of the 50 states in this country.
Well, that's putting kids in jeopardy. If you are a teacher and you feel you need to carry a gun for some kids, maybe you don't need to be in that position. You are there to provide an education. If you're having a bad day, somebody on the rag, bang, bang, you're dead. No, absolutely not. But they probably want that kind of chaos anyway. I mean, hey, they know black people is the ones with the master key. So let's just give the teachers the right to carry a gun. And if we kill one of the black kids, we're going to say they did okay. But let's just not hope it's a black teacher. Because you know if them white country boys come in there, they're going to use that teacher and use his head as the blood to paint the streets like Picasso. And those are straight up facts. Teachers are there to educate, not shoot on sight.
Well, good. Thank you so much, Al. We appreciate your call as always. Before we take a break, I do want to clarify the 6 states in Milwaukee. I know we're going to be interested in this. The 6 states that currently prohibit guns for non-law enforcement school security, teachers, and other staff include Delaware, Nebraska, North Carolina, West Virginia, Maine, and guess what other state, Telly? Wisconsin. So this state does not allow non-law enforcement, school security, teachers, and other staff to carry concealed weapons or any gun for that matter. You're listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. Truth be told, Truth Nation, should teachers be allowed to carry concealed weapons in the classroom? We want to hear your thoughts, your feelings. We heard from Al. We want to hear from you. You're listening to the best morning show on planet Earth. Truth be told with DT and Telly.
More of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Denise Thomas with her truth.
Truth Nation, there has been an ongoing debate in terms of what work ethic means, and primarily across generations. You hear phrases like, this new generation doesn't know the meaning of work. They're entitled. And the younger generation saying things like, the older people, they work way too hard and not smart enough. All perspectives have some extension of validity. I want to share with you something that I heard last weekend that really resonated with me as it relates to work ethic. And the quote was, a lot of people want to learn how to play the guitar, but they don't want to take the lessons. And so, Truth Nation, as we continue to have ongoing conversations about the meaning of work and work ethic, I want to ask each of us to consider what work means to us And in terms of what we are looking to gain from whatever aspect of work that we deliver every day, is it equal to what we want to gain? In other words, are you putting in the work that's not just short game or 60 seconds or less, but the work that is going to create a long impact on whatever return on the investment looks like for you? Let's start having more conversations about the meaning of work, making sure that we're aligned on what that looks and feels like, and ultimately not giving up on doing the work, because goodness knows we got a lot of work to do.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth Be Told with DT and Telly weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
One smile is great, but one smile in a community of smiles is so much better. A smile has a secret power that most people don't know about. A smile multiplies. It spreads from one person to the next, stretching across entire groups of people. Smile Train knows this and is proud to be creating a wave of smiles across the cleft lip and palate community in over 70 countries. Patients, doctors, advocates, fundraisers. Collectively, our smiles are a celebration of the transformed lives of over 1.5 million children. Learn how Smile Train is helping the cleft lip and palate community at smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
An accident now on 41 southbound, right at the end of the Capitol Drive on-ramp off on the right shoulder, so watch out for delays coming in from before Hampton. We've got backups on southbound 43 as well from just before Hampton Avenue down past Keefe. Northbound slowing down around the North Avenue curve up to Keefe. And still dealing with an accident on the ramp from northbound 94 to westbound 894 off on the left shoulder just as you're coming out of the tunnel. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, morning scattered showers, isolated in the afternoon, breezy with the high of 70, tonight partly cloudy with the low of 47. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Alex Selez. The Green Bay Packers 2024 draft class is official. 11 new Packers have been drafted, headlined by first-round pick offensive lineman from Arizona, Jordan Morgan, and a couple of second-round defensive players in linebacker Edrin Cooper out of Texas A&M and Georgia safety Javon Bullard. Over in the NBA, the Bucks without Giannis and Dame now are down 3-1 in the series to the Pacers after Sunday's loss in Indiana, 126-113. They come back home to Milwaukee and are set to play on Tuesday. Tip-off is scheduled for 8:30 with coverage beginning over on WTMJ at 8. Finally, in baseball, the Brewers lost at home to the Yankees on Sunday, 15-5. They are set to play the Tampa Bay Rays in Milwaukee this Monday. First pitch is scheduled for 6:40 with coverage beginning over on WTMJ at 6:05. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown team's member, FDIC.
You are listening to Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
All right, DJ Ricky, tell us how you really feel. He came back. That's what I love about Ricky. He don't say too much, but when he play that music, he lets you know exactly how he feels. So I'm taking it, if you're just tuning in, good morning, happy Monday. Hope your week is off to a great start. We were talking about before break, so Tennessee is now the 31st state in the United States of America to pass legislation which will allow non-law enforcement, i.e. teachers, to carry guns in the classrooms. There now are 6 states that prohibit guns, which some of you may be happy to hear includes Wisconsin. But there are other states, including as of recently last week, that have passed legislation which will allow teachers to carry concealed weapons in the school in response to the uptick in school shootings. Now, here's what the requirements are as far as Tennessee. And I'm going to guess, Telly, that they followed the blueprint of which the other states have made requirements. And this, again, is the requirements that a teacher would have to follow in order to carry a concealed weapon in the classroom on the public school campus. Number one, they have to have a valid handgun carry permit. Number two, they have to undergo a background check. Number three, they have to complete 40 hours of additional training. And number four, which I think is the most important, but again, I don't know what that entails, and that's pass a psychological evaluation. I don't know what the questions are or how they measure or how they evaluate, but that's a big factor. Because again, to your point, Telly, a lot of public school teachers are under a significant amount of stress. And another factor that you brought up is teachers have been very vocal about the lack of respect that they receive from both the parent and the student in the classroom. I've seen a number of videos on social media where you see teachers and students getting to fistfights in the classroom, or students cursing out the teacher. I mean, it gets bad. So from that standpoint, it's like, could it get to the point where the teacher gets so mad that they go in that closet and grab that concealed weapon and start? I mean, there's just so many. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this, because on the other hand, I also have to demonstrate some empathy with those teachers that, are saying, hey, we can't rely upon the law enforcement. We can't rely on the police department, because when we call 911, we've seen stories where the police department, what was the school in Texas? They got sued, and they took accountability. The police officers were outside, not coming in where the shooter was actively shooting students and teachers. So I really, at this point, I don't know how I feel, but I will say this. If we're at a point now where teachers are part of their school supplies, it ain't just chalk anymore, Telly. It ain't just, notepads.
I got to go get some ammo.
I got to go get some ammo. That's where we are in 2024.
Yeah. But DT, before I really thought about it, and I'm sure there are a lot of educators out there that will definitely empathize with what I'm saying or feel me when I say this. It's not necessarily the kids. It's the parents. That's who you have to worry about that gun, being used on, because a lot of times you have a lot of disrespectful parents that are come up, and so you can't think that a disrespectful kid is coming from respectful parents. I mean, they had to come from somewhere. So if your kid is in there disrespectful, I'm sure there's a good chance your parent's going to come in there and do and behave in the same fashion. So that's the part where you got to be a little nervous about, in my opinion. And the kids can drive these teachers up a wall, but somehow, some way, and I still don't understand it, but these teachers are conditioned to deal with that. But then when you have to deal with the extra stuff, and you have the parents that may not be on board with their education the way that you feel as though it should be taught, and then there's issues, then that's where the gun may be like, hold on, man, this parent came up, got in my face, disrespected me, and now you're talking about two grown people. You're not talking about an adult and a child. That's where I think it'll get problematic.
We've got a live poll on our YouTube channel, so you can watch and hear Telly and I live on our YouTube channel simply by going to YouTube and entering 101.7 The Truth, and make sure you subscribe. We have a live poll going on, and we're receiving a number of votes. So far, Truth Nation, when we asked the question, should teachers have guns in the schools, 100% of you have responded no. 100%. Keep the votes coming in. Should teachers be allowed to have guns in the schools? Tennessee is the most recent state. There are currently now 31 states in this country that allow teachers to carry concealed weapons in the classroom in response. And this is the messenger here. This is the rationale that a lot of legislators have said in these states that approve carrying guns, is based on the increase or, quote, uptick in school shootings. A number of states in this country are allowing teachers to carry concealed weapons. And, the rationale is increase in school shootings, and the requirements are, hey, pass a psychological evaluation, complete 40 hours of additional training, undergo a background check, and have a valid handgun carry permit. I try to look at things holistically. Of course, I don't want to know that my child is going to a school. For me, Telly, it got problematic when they started putting metal detectors. And that's been going on for decades. Metal detectors in schools.
I was thinking about that.
Yeah, because to me,
that was a huge deal when that first came out. Yeah, that was huge.
Because to me, the underlying message is, if you treat, okay, let me just go here. If you look at three systems in this country, schools, hospitals, and what was the third? Schools, hospitals, and jails. If you think about it, the layout or the structure are identical. You got a long hallway, and then you have rooms, or in jails you have cells. And it's like from the time that we become students, we are conditioned to be in environments of control and structure. Then when you add on metal detectors, and then when you add on teachers being allowed to have guns in the classroom, what message is that sending throughout the trajectory of our lives? Think about it. You start in school. If you're sick, you go to the hospital. If you commit a crime and you're found guilty, you go to jail. It's all the same layout. And it's just like we're becoming, I don't even want to say we're becoming, this conditioning, Telly, of not only control and structure, but violence. As if it's just, Tuesday. Can you imagine, like, if you're thinking about, and this goes into a next part of our conversation that I hope that we can get into sometime this week. I have a 26-year-old son and a 29-year-old daughter, both of which have been very vocal about not wanting to have children. So the likelihood of me never becoming a grandmother, aside from my beautiful granddog, Ernie, shout out to Ernie, is slim to none. And so I asked my children, who are adults, why don't you want to have kids? And just take a guess what you think their response was. Just take a guess.
Probably just too much.
I don't want to bring, especially as a black person, I don't want to bring no child into this mess. And that, that's the reality, but it hurts my heart. And these are the types of headlines and stories that attribute to that mindset of I don't, and on top of that, we've already reported that according to the U.S. Census Bureau, we're going to be the third, not the first like we used to be as black folks. It used to be black, Hispanic, Asian. By the year of 2029, it will be Hispanic, Asian, and dun-da-dum, coming in third place from a population standpoint, black folks. And these are the type of stories that it can continue to perpetuate the fear and the reservations of just producing more black folks. Nobody want to raise. Now, my kid's like, I don't want to bring a child into and have to, number one, worry about somebody walking into the school and shooting my child, and then knowing that the teacher now also has a gun.
Yeah. And you just think about, you can blame, it's just the sign of the times and technology or this, that, and the other. But why wasn't this even thought of when we were coming up?
That's a great question. That is, and you know what?
Why was it?
Generations will say, well, they don't parent like they used to. Well, first of all, I don't think it's fair for me to necessarily go in on parents nowadays because they got a lot more to deal with than I had. But then on the other hand, I don't care what generation it is. And I love how Andre brought up the concept of hard work and respect. What happened to yes, ma'am, no, ma'am? Can you you remember growing up and you go to Big Mama's house? Telly, huh? It'd be ma'am, sir.
Look, who you talking to? You ain't grown. And
When we come back from break, y'all, we're going to wrap this up. But again, the Truth Talking text line is 833-212-1017. We're going to keep the poll live throughout the rest of our show. Again, you can go to our YouTube channel, subscribe. But the poll question is, should teachers have guns in the schools? Tennessee has just recently passed legislation that will allow teachers, amongst other 30 states that are allowing teachers to carry concealed weapons in the classroom. This is the best morning show on planet Earth, Truth Be Told, with DT and Telly on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
More of Truth Be Told with DT and Telly is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This Mother's Day, sweeten the celebration with Concordia Red Elephant Chocolate. Indulge in our luxurious selection of gourmet chocolates, handcrafted to create unforgettable moments, perfect for showing the special woman in your life just how much you care. An exclusive 10% off of your purchase of $40 or more with code MOM24. Give the gift of decadence with Concordia Red Elephant Chocolates. Order soon to receive for Mother's Day. Treat her to sweetness she deserves. RedElephantChocolate.com, code MOM24.
After 125 years, Port Washington State Bank knows how to help your business expand. I'm James Showalter, president of PWSB and a proud resident of Ozaukee County. As a fifth-generation family business, PWSB cares deeply about helping you achieve your goals. Our commercial lending team takes the time to listen and provide the care you deserve. It's the way we've done business since 1899. Stop into Port Washington State Bank today.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because our home policies help protect your dreams and come with peace of mind. Save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Introducing your trusted partner for all your freight transportation needs. It is Out the Mud Hauling. From local to long distance hauls, they ensure seamless, timely deliveries for businesses nationwide. They offer a variety of services like cross-docking, order fulfillment, debris removal, hazardous material handling, pallet storage, and much more. Whether you're a seasoned shipper or an aspiring entrepreneur, trust Out the Mud Hauling for all your trucking needs across the USA. Contact them today at 262-278-1595. Out the Mud Hauling.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
It is Truth Be Told with DT and Telly on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in, starting your day off with Truth Be Told with DT and Telly. We always appreciate you. Again, the poll, as we're closing out, 100% of Truth Nation voters said, nah, we good on that. Teachers having guns in the schools. Call security. I feel y'all. So the truth of the matter for me is we got to look at the root cause. Like what's bringing us to this position now where, not only are we having metal detectors in the schools, we're now talking about teachers having the authority to carry a concealed weapon in the schools. And the truth of the matter is for me, and this kind of goes back to what Al was saying, that's the last place I want to know guns exist, and that's in the classroom with the teacher. However, I also got to realize that teachers need to feel just as safe as the students do. And they need to be able to protect themselves and the students. And security and law enforcement haven't been demonstrating the greatest, holistically speaking. So it may be time for us to revisit security and law enforcement response before we just start telling teachers no. Because they got to feel safe. They got to feel protected. So it's a lot. We'll see what happens. But as far as today, Wisconsin is like, no, 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 no. We prohibit. Yeah. That is the truth of the matter.
And hopefully it'll stay that way. My truth of the matter is, let's not get desensitized in what's going on, because there's a lot of things that if it happens back to back, you may not give the situation the proper attention or sensitivity that it takes. And I'm referring to the two missing young ladies now. And that is, it is something that needs to be addressed, and the two black young ladies that are missing now, it needs to be addressed. And how is it that so many black women and black children are coming up missing, and there's nothing being said or done about it, or at least the public hasn't seen any measures that's being taken to slow this down? So, and just because this is a new case, we can't forget about Shade Robinson and her mom still trying to have some closure and some complete closure with her daughter's passing. So my truth of the matter is, let's be sensitive to every situation and treat everything case by case, because you just start lumping things together, they don't get the type of attention that is needed. So that is my truth of the matter.
Thank you so much for that, Telly. Barbie, I see all of your comments, and please pardon me and Telly for not being able to read them, but I read them personally. I feel you. So we're going to continue having this conversation, other conversations. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Up next, you've got Sherwin Hughes, followed by 6 more live consecutive hours of Milwaukee Black Talk Radio. Make it a great day. We love you, and we will see and hear you tomorrow, Lord willing. Have a great day.
Peace out.